Hello guys, I'm Theo,
Hello, I'm Adam.
and it's a pleasure to be in China. Ni hao wang yi. We tried in Taiwan yesterday, but it was very difficult. So I learned sure sure and ni hao, and that was all I could do because it was so difficult. It is. It's our first time in China. It's a place we've wanted to come our whole lives really, and we've never had the chance. And to get the chance because you've got fans here and because people like your music is one of the greatest feelings of all time. And it's it's a great experience for us, and it's very 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 exciting. All sorts. Well, we've got an opera singer who comes with us, who is often the most surprising element, I think. But it's just going to be a big show.
Yeah, I think it's important when you make our kind of music that when you play live, you make it as big as possible instead of, as small as possible. So we've got lots of musicians and an opera singer and a big light show. So China's going to get a big show.
Could you tell us what's the most unforgettable thing when you make this album, and where did you get the inspiration of making it?
Well, I think the inspiration comes from it was a year in our life when our lives changed forever. It was when we started writing the record, we were unemployed and very unhappy, and yeah, we didn't have much money or anything, and we were trying to make music and trying to make something of ourselves, and it was very difficult. And so we became very unhappy, like I said. And then 6 months later, our whole world changed, and we got a record deal, and we got noticed, and everything changed. And it was so the record captures that kind of the sadness and the happiness, I think, in there.
I think as far as unforgettable moments go, I think when we wrote a song called "Stay" for the album, that was a big moment because for a lot of months we'd been in the studio and it had been very difficult to write songs. And that was the moment when we knew everything was going to be okay. So I'd say that was a great moment.
Well, we started to think about it, but we don't really have much time at the moment because we're on tour, but we needed a break, I think, from writing music.
Yeah, I think since we met each other, all we've done is write music. It's good for our souls and our personalities that we do something else for a change. And touring's been great for us because you learn about your music when people come to your shows, and the way they react to songs makes you think about your music differently. And I think we needed that perspective in our lives, so we're going to do that for a bit longer, then go back in the studio.
Well, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, this is our first experience in China, and like I say, we've been trying to come for a long time, and this was the first opportunity we've had. So, and we've had a great time in Asia. The last week, we've gone from Malaysia to Indonesia to Hong Kong to here Taiwan, and we've just had the best time. And so yeah, hopefully this is the start of a lot of trips to China. Yeah.
Make your fashion style keep pace with your music style?
I think they both come from the same place. It is who we are, I think, and when we made the band, that's what we wanted to do. Most of all, is just show people who we are and what we like, and the two things together. And yeah, it was important to us dressing like this, I think.
I think we just try and keep things simple, really. The music's quite grand and at times complicated, and we wanted at the beginning to make sure that we just did justice to our music and let the music talk. So I think simplicity is I'd say is our kind of fashion outlook, if we have one.
Do you have any fashion icon?
I think for us it's a kind of, it sounds really strange, but it's old men, especially in England. There's a great tradition where old people dress up all the time, regardless of whether they're going to the shop or to the park. They dress in suits and dress very smart. And when we were unemployed and we were unhappy, we dressed this way to make ourselves feel better about the world, and to feel like we had dignity and pride. And even though we we deep down we felt like we didn't. So it's very important to us.
A lot of fans want to know, do you have some casual wearing? Because you always look fit, and you have
We always get asked that question everywhere. The answer, sadly, is no, which is very impractical sometimes. So what you see is what you get, really. We only have about 6 items of clothing each.
Yeah. But this is comfortable. People think it looks uncomfortable, but trousers are very comfortable. If you get the right trousers and the right shirt, it's just like wearing pajamas. But it's but yeah, like Adam said, we don't really own many clothes, so it's easy to make decisions. You could get changed in the dark. I could go into my room in the dark and just pick clothes, and there'd probably be a suit and a shirt.
As you mentioned that you have a period of time which was tough and struggling. So would you please give some kind of advice to the young adults who are still struggling in their life?
I think it's important to work very hard. I think that's the first thing, really. I think you need to be determined to a almost unhealthy level. You have to be so determined that it takes over your life, because I think that's really how you get somewhere in music, particularly. To work very hard, be determined, and also hope you get a bit of luck, because everyone needs luck.
I think also believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. And I think we never gave up either. We carried on, and the 99% of the world that tells you can't do it, there's always 1% that you dream of, which is coming to Beijing or travelling the world, and that's 1% kept us going the whole time, regardless of what we were doing. So I think it's important to do that. I think.
And already you could play Keanu Reeves and Radiohead as a model of the next British band. So do you have any idea of this comment?
No, I guess that's a great compliment. We love all those bands. The Muse and Radiohead. They were very important when we made the record, I think, and growing up. Yeah, so
Those 2 bands taught me a lot about how to make music, I think. Not so much now, but earlier in my life, in our lives, they were important, yeah.
Do you care about the comments on your
I think the best thing you can do, and what we always did, is not try and please anybody else. We made music. You can spend your whole life trying to please everybody all the time, and you're not gonna be able to. And people are always going to tell you that you're wrong and tell you that they don't like what you do. But when all we ever did is do what we believed in and what we were happy with, and as long as we were happy with it, we could walk around and it wouldn't matter what anybody said. And I think that's still the same. I think you can't please everybody, so you just got to do your best and hope that people like it.
And when you go through each item of fans' messages on Twitter or Facebook?
Sometimes, but but we have to, because there's a lot. You can't really read them all, but it's very nice to. It's Facebook and things, and the internet was a very good thing for us. It helped us connect with the world, and it helped us help fans from around the world talk to each other. And yeah, so sometimes, but there's too many a lot of the time. That's an interesting question, actually.
I think we're looking at documenting a live show in some way. I'm not sure whether it would be a live album, but there'll be something this year, I think.
Because it's definitely different. The music's different live. It sounds very different to the record, because we've put a lot of effort into taking it up a level. So it's interesting to capture it. Yeah. So maybe Adam said.
The beginning of you start to do music, and why do you finally choose to sign to a major record label? And is there anything bothering or fantastic?
I think for us, we existed on very little for so long that a record company was the best thing for us. Record companies allowed our music to travel the world, and it's allowed our music to be heard by so many people. And when you've got ideas in your head, if you've got limitations, that's good sometimes. But if there's no limits to what you can do and what you can make, it's one of the most exciting feelings, isn't it?
I like to be institutionalized, and I like time frames and deadlines, and when you've signed to a major label you get that. Really, there's pressure involved with it, and I think that's good for us, because if no one pressured us, I think we'd kind of go insane.
And we're very lucky that we've got a record company that allow us to do what we like. We went with a record company that promised that to us, and the whole time they've not forced us to do anything, or they've not tried to manipulate us, which is a great testament to the record industry that people are still allowed to do that. So it's the best thing that ever happened to us, I think.
No problem.
Perfect, thank you.